Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, February 6, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night we're going to have a TFCC call that's going to introduce a new source of independent power to people. And I will go into detail about it on the call. It will be available the end of February to begin with, and we'll just cover just what this thing is and what it can do for the American people, and then eventually the world. So I suggest that anybody that's interested in that might want to be on the call. And I'm going to be going over the real, okay, not all this crap on the planet talking about all these med beds and everything, but the real deal, the real med beds and each of their functions, which are not available to the public, but it's a good idea to get the public educated on the real deal so that they can surmise all of this fluff out there and focus on the reality of these technologies eventually coming to the planet. Since we're all made, the gods that we are in these bodies, pure consciousness of the frequency, the energy, cosmic energy, essence of love. It's interesting how you can tell by watching things on this planet and civilization that a lot of people they haven't discovered that within them. And this is why we have so many ego mind control over the people, each one of us. And I'll give you a kind of a peekaboo. This incorporates New Earth. This is what this is about. And, love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes in all things, hopes all things, endures all things, and love never dies. That actually came out of the Bible in Corinthians 13. And there's one precious thing that has always opened the doorway to higher understanding, and that's deep eternal love. And it is love is one of those intangible states that we tend to categorize, label as a certain thing, put it into a box, yet love cannot be contained or even defined by words. Sure, we can come close to it, create great poetry that points towards love, yet it always falls short of the perpetual expansion experience of love. And with love, all things are possible. The energy of love is the only thing that we need to solve every problem we have in this very now moment. And the moment we start trusting the expansive magic of love, that is the pivotal day when everything will completely change for all of us. Now, if we think we are too poor, busy, lost, or frustrated to trust love, we are simply making up excuses to hide another day and our imagined smallness. You see, it boils down to what we have with ourselves: trust, confidence, faith. If any of those are compromised with any of us, then we have an endless journey that does not surface anything. So we keep repeating and repeating. So if we with the confidence, trust, and faith that we do have, we just haven't connected with it with ourselves due to our programming and conditioning on this planet. So the moment that we start trusting the expansive magic of love is the pivotal day. New Earth begins. So you let love guide you. You don't have any ideas about what it is or what it is not. Just feel what love is, like in your body and heart, and you will always find your way. Now, that may sound cliche to people, you know. But it's because we just don't understand the depth of love and what it really is. We look at love, why? As romantic love or love for a loved one, that type of thing. But not the depth of it, because that's just one small level of it. And it's decision for every one of us. No one's going to make the decision for us. It is really up to us, as it always has been. You begin to make the commitment to remaining open. It's the first step in giving and receiving love effectively, to make the commitment to being open to love. A lot of people are, as you know, are compressed about that. Emotional situations through their lives, things that have happened, trauma, so on and so forth, how they were raised. And it is the most powerful energy in this universe. There's nothing that can come close to it. So to master it is to master your experience of this universe. And you begin to let your heart simply be open, as if it were as vast as this infinite universe that surrounds us. And when we are met with difficult people, like we all are at times, and situations, relax your body, open your heart completely. And eventually, with enough relaxation, a soft, gentle feeling of lightness and love will come pouring in. Remember one thing. You cannot get hurt in any relationship or situation if your heart truly remains permanently open. The hurt comes through the ego mind. And then we become reluctant to open our hearts. So we build these invisible walls around our hearts. And we find ourselves defending and protecting the ego mind. And this is what happens to the majority of the people on the planet. But when you start understanding things, awareness due to your commitment to understand things, then it all transcends. And your ego, for instance, right? Not our enemy. It's not a bad guy. So you drown your ego in loving thoughts. The more we love and accept ourselves exactly as we are in this very moment, the more we attract love from others and manifest loving, empowering, and abundant situations to us, for us. The vibration of love is hugely magnetic. When we let our ego drown in self-loving affirmations, beliefs, ideas, and fantasies, this energy will soon permeate every cell in our bodies. And eventually these loving ideas will make us into a love magnet, allowing us to realize that we are simply the source of love itself. And then this is obviously it's an effort. You don't try hard. You don't, push or pull or force. You let go of any limiting ideas about love. The belief that we can only love and be loved by one person is one of the greatest limiting thoughts society has hypnotized us to believe about love. Trash this thought immediately and understand one simple thing, that the more we practice sharing love with others, the more love we will have to give to ourselves and that one special person. Love has the amazing snowball effect, where it becomes bigger the more that it's used. So we let go of that ridiculous fear of hurting someone because you started loving everyone. Whoever gets hurt simply has a closed heart and has not yet connected to the infinite supply of love inside them. And when we become an example for how to be a living source of love, then the people will see how alive, vibrant, and full of joy you are. And then one day, they too will choose to follow you along the path of unlimited love. Now, it's obviously when we're in habit as a civilization, as certain habits, right, that we've been programmed and conditioned to believe and feel and so on and so forth. We all know that some habits it's really challenging for us to eliminate that habit because we then find ourselves going back to that habit. So you consciously choose love no matter what. Yes, and the ego is often tempted to play its old games of blaming, judging others for not giving it what it thinks it wants. And deeply eternal loving, we can always choose love even when our ego wants to go off into limiting thinking and contracted feeling states. Every time we notice ourselves entertaining that contracted zone, focus on opening up your heart, sending out the vibration of love. Think about one thing that you love, like your dog, your cat, whatever. The mountains, the sun, your child. Feel how much you truly love this person or thing. This will get your love and engines started again, and soon the energy of love will naturally overwhelm any contracted old ways of being. Remember, it is the most power, love. You practice choosing to respond to all situations with love. You focus daily on spending as many minutes as possible in a loving state. Open your heart and send strangers you meet loving energy. Allow in loving vibrations that they may be sending you back. Choose someone in your life that you may have a challenge with, and embrace them with loving energy as well. Think of something you love about them. There's always something. And let this natural love expand out of this one thing. And soon, you will sense a love for them where before there was resentment or numbness. Love is our natural way of being. It's our natural state. It is easy to bathe in the magic of this energy all day long. Whatever you do today, let love be your guide. Imagine what it would be like, and it's going to come to this, it will, eventually, where the people of the planet will discover that this universe is you. Now you say, well, this little body and then there's a vast universe, that's silly. That's the ego mind. You are simply unique and incomparable. That's a fact. It isn't even debatable. Right? Now the ego mind might want to debate it. Accept this, love this, celebrate this. In that very celebration, you will start seeing the uniqueness of the others, the incomparable beauty of the others. Love is possible only when there is a deep acceptance of oneself. The other, the world acceptance creates the milieu in which love grows and the soil in which love blooms also. We are unique and divinely special exactly the way the universe designed us. Any efforting on our part to be special or become a somebody simply implies that we feel we really aren't very special. Any outer efforts, actions, or inner attempts to become a special somebody always is stemming from a deeper source of not seeing and feeling what a precious gift you already are to this world. The truth is that there is nobody, there really isn't. For you, there's nobody that's exactly like you out of 8.5 billion people on this entire planet. So you just be yourself. Relax deeper into this truly unique and special being that you are. Rest deeply in your innermost self, and you truly enjoy it. We will one day become so relaxed that we will spontaneously realize how much this universe is in love with us. And what a deeply eternal loving gift we are for this world. And allow yourself to feel appreciated. You can do it. It is the kind of love that allows us to feel and be unstoppable in manifesting the life that we truly desire. And every one of us, as I've said numerous times, deserves the best of everything. Period. Does it make any sense that we are such divine perfection in these bodies, that we are totally immortal, that we continue on for billions and trillions of years, and we have a miserable life full of obstructions and pressures and anxieties and tensions and fears? It just doesn't fit. Perhaps there might be a little voice inside you that has some questions like, and I've heard people say this, how can this universe love me? What's so special about me? How can I be lovable with all my flaws? And how can something so huge, impersonal, and made of 99% empty space as this universe have love for me? Well, these are good questions. Do you explore them? All the answers are inside you. And when you make the time for yourself to dive into them, eventually you'll break through the question and find the divinity that you simply presents itself to you. Our ability to feel special, loved, and appreciated all depends on the degree that we open up. Drop our doubts. Relax into it. Now, once we relax, and I'm not talking about artificial substances to relax. I'm talking about natural relaxation. Once you relax, you shift your vibration and become a better receptor for love from this universe. Think of yourself as this beacon, okay? And the beacon is a receiver. And it's a highly charged receptor for love from this universe. And you're constantly sending out messages and receiving messages from this universe. So what are the messages you're sending out? Are they, that you hate life and it sucks and bad and, what did I do to deserve this? Then what are the messages you're receiving by sending those messages out to the universe? Look for the direct correlation between these two by appreciating, accepting, and approving of yourself just as you are right now. This universe will be sending you back the same signal. And when you realize how lovable you truly are, then this universe has no choice but to send you love from everyone and everything around you. This is when this life becomes a constant state of ever-present joy and bliss. It is truly amazing that we are all here listening to this right now. So many things could have taken our lives from us. And yet, we are all here still exploring this life. It is an amazing thing to be here on this planet at this time. Take this moment to welcome it. This universe wants every one of us to take advantage of our lives. It is the most precious gift that we have. You can take, 5 minutes maybe, daily, do it for a week, to look back at everything you've been through. Okay? See how this universe has always been supporting you. It's wondrous to see all the life experiences you have had and that you are here alive right now. Even making it through the birth canal was a tremendous feat of courage and love. Notice how for years this universe has been providing you with food, shelter, and opportunities to contribute to this world. And you can let go and trust that this universe will keep you safe, warm, cozy, and truly awake, aware, and alive. We can allow ourselves to feel this support and love. The amazing, infinite, conscious universe is always supporting us whether we know it or not. It loves us. Notice how good it feels to know that this universe loves you and believes your existence is a deeply and eternal loving one. It's time to recognize this and be the gift you wish to give this world. This is all about us evolving and ascending. It is by our choice, no one else's. We are the power. We are the masters and commanders of our lives, of these bodies, and the gods that we are. We go beyond consciousness, and we continue to go beyond, meta, meta, meta. But what it comes down to is for us to decide to do so. Now that seems pretty simple. Well, I'll just decide to do it. Some people can do that. They just shift gears and say, from now on, I'm going within, I'm staying within. I'm going to focus on the now because it really is all we have. None of us have yesterday. None of us have tomorrow. This is where, as I've often said, we get carried away. We just kind of go off certain areas. And we're used to doing it. So we get taken off by the ego mind and, into the future. Or we go back and reminisce the past. And then we're not in the now, so we're bouncing back and forth. It's like some people say, what am I going to do in 3 months? What's going to happen? That's where we worry, stress, fear, and suffer. Right? And that's where we constantly practice being in and out. You may find yourself moving back into the now 200, 300, 400 times a day. You identify the ego mind. You say, I love you, ego mind, deeply and eternally, but you're not in charge here. Every time that feeling comes in, that kind of ominous or worry or whatever, you identify it and it's an ego mind thought, not yours. Why would you attract? Why would any of us attract doom and gloom and negativity? Unless we weren't consciously aware that we were doing it. Right? And many of us do that. Not a negative or a bad thing. It's just our conditioning. We're not blaming the conditioning or those who conditioned us at all. But we know about it. We've identified it. It's not about discrediting yourself, coming down hard on yourself, eviscerating yourself. It's the opposite, being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself. Eventually, we will come into the power of the God that we are. And then you will be free. Once that discovery has been completely opened, and you have an open heart 24/7. The only reason we suffer in relationships or anything, I think we all know why, right? because we haven't discovered how to love ourselves first. And not constantly protect our hearts and the ego mind, right, from being hurt again or disappointed again or let down again or trusting and having it breached. All those things, all connected with our ego minds. This is about, now, obviously the civilization has, gone the gambit for many, many eternities, but they have, we're now where we're at because of awareness. That's why we're at where we're at. Purging the pure evil from the planet. Not only that, but becoming engaged with the understanding is that we all of us, collectively, create everything we experience. Even the bad stuff. That's how powerful we are. And slowly but surely, I believe that we are learning this, experiencing it, and understanding it, comprehending it, and then being cognizant to the fact that we don't care to manifest that anymore. Yes, we did, okay? And it's taught us many things, endlessly. And remember, some of the negative things are the best teachers. We have so many abilities. It's like you have this huge warehouse with all of your abilities. But you don't have the key to the warehouse yet. You haven't discovered the key. But you can't access those abilities. So our consciousness, understand we're all conscious beings, even though many are still in the bicameral mode, which means right and left brain, need to be led, can't conceptualize. We're all conscious. Before, so many thousand years ago, we were not conscious. And so we became conscious. But many stayed in the mode of bicameralism because of the teachings throughout the ages. Now it's time that we move out of that. And we are moving to the enlightened state of consciousness by itself. It is truly an experience that is beyond the mind and all mental concepts. We can only know that we've had a taste of it by the enhanced quality of our life experience. And our typical normal walk in the park becomes a romantic rendezvous with the divine of who we are. And we are greeted with personal messages and sacred signs of inner guidance on every street corner, billboard, whatever it may be that we see. And when the state of enlightened consciousness shows up, it turns the mundane into the miraculous. We're right on the verge, see? We've decided to move in higher frequency by choice. Then we begin to understand what higher frequency means. It is a state of existence, of pure, deep, eternal love, joy, bliss, which that's what we are. So you can see how the separation, illusion of separation, has been a good thing for us because it's allowed us to learn this through the different challenges that we manifest in our lives, through the different things that we manifest. Have you ever been where you got agitated? Whatever it did, it sparked you off, okay? And when you expressed yourself, maybe to yourself or to someone else, it came right from your heart mind. And that's where it usually comes from. Okay? And you, with such power and energy, you project that out to the universe. Instantaneously. And the universe gives you more of it. And none of us are exempt from that. Numerous times in this life alone, we have experienced many of that stuff. And anybody says, "Oh no, I'm exempt from that," then they really don't know who and what they are, and that they will discover eventually. When we have perpetual and effortless reverence for this life, in the enlightened state, we cannot help but feel totally in awe of this life. We all are seeing a divine intelligence is deeply rooted and alive in all things, objects, situations, and people. It is obvious that there is a higher intelligence behind every experience, action and occurrence. We see there's no such thing as coincidence. And we live in a constant reverence for life, participating with ease in the natural flow, celebrating in this spiritual connection that's all around us. And when we choose observing the mirror reflection within every interaction, when the state of enlightenment awareness is super strong within us, we stop identifying with our physical bodies as who we are. We instead see our infinite nature is everything, in all things, and people. We see it as the background, backdrop, and blackboard that this entire universe is written upon. We know we are the universal body, and we find every human being as a glimmering facet, reflecting this unique, individuated point of consciousness within ourselves. The mirror ignites a natural realization that everyone is our teacher, pointing us back to us, the lessons and messages we most need to hear. And the enlightened awareness shows us that we are not separate from anyone, anything, and we effortlessly live in a state of joy, universal harmony, wherever we go. When we come to an understanding with ourselves, feeling of being deeply settled and completely still inside, no matter what chaos is occurring in the outer world, there is always a point of perpetual stillness at our core. We are the center of the cyclone that no drama, violence, or death can threaten. We know our true nature is eternal and that nothing can destroy us. We are rooted within this moment so deeply that nothing can shake us or disturb our inner peace. We laugh with lightness at the trivial stresses that used to plague our daily mind as we relax deeper into the recesses of our innermost being. We then come to the understanding with ourselves that a deep knowing that all is perfect in this life. There is a natural understanding that all is well and unfolding exactly as it should. We see this universal perfection that is here now and accept that it has the highest vision and sight of how this life should be. We stop fighting with others outside ourselves because the fight has stopped within ourselves. We are the source of nonviolence, attacking and judging nothing we see within. There is only respect for the perfection that is constantly unfolding around us. Knowing the mind can have its fabrications about how things should be, yet abide instead in the deeper resources of peace that know otherwise. To understand we are all supreme beings. No stopping it, no hiding it, there's no changing it. And being ourselves, the supreme beings, but thinking ourselves to be separate, we strive and struggle to become united. Kind of strange, isn't it? And it's not like there's only a few of us, right, that know how to reach the enlightened state of consciousness. It's vital to know that it is available to every one of us at all times, right in this now, and perpetually lies dormant at the core of our being. The more we rest within ourselves in a life free from stress, desire, and activity, the more we relax inside and soon realize its astounding power. As this brilliant gateway is gradually opened, we see how easy it is to create anything and everything that we desire. Our normal awareness pierces like a laser beam through the negative beliefs, which normally would have stopped us from moving forward. And we see how fun and easy it is to accept the possibility of instant manifestation. You've heard me talk in some of my presentations through the years that all of these technologies that I'll be discussing tomorrow night that will be made available to all of you are training wheels. We are such powerful supreme beings that when you look at it from the perspective of saying, okay, so this device does this for me, this does this for me, this does this for me, but then you begin to realize I should be able to do that for myself without any machines, right? The more often we sit still, practice quieting our minds, watching the breath rise and fall, doing absolutely nothing, the more the divine consciousness awakens within us. When we stop and meditate on the source of consciousness itself, we discover that it's everywhere we are. It's our very nature. And it is as bright and brilliant as the sun and beyond. It is so obvious that it cannot be missed. When we catch hold of it and let go of our attachment to the outer phenomenal world, we see that this consciousness has a power which is so all-encompassing that we stop looking outside of ourselves for answers and start listening to the omniscient wisdom that is constantly bubbling up from within our core. When we quiet our minds, then we can go beyond it. Do not keep it busy all the time. Stop it and just be. Now, if you give it a rest, it will settle down, recover its purity and strength. Constant thinking makes it decay. You see how that works? With the enlightened state, we can live a life that is free from doubt and fear because we know that something universally intelligent is guiding us each step of the way, the God within us. We are never bored with this life, nor seeking gratification from our outer world, because ordinary life situations are constantly transformed into a deeply ecstatic, spiritually awakening moments. There is no attachment to our lives, to desires, to possessing anything, acquiring anything, nor escaping from any experience. We meet our lives full on, embracing the divine circumstances that we are given, because we're creating them, facing them with complete ecstasy, because we have already found that we were searching for our entire lives. We've discovered an eternal source of peace within that cannot be shaken or disturbed by anything or anyone in the outer world. Now, one of the greatest discoveries to finding the state, when I understand this is our natural state that we have not discovered yet, the state of enlightened consciousness, is when we get in touch with our deepest personal trauma and emotional pain. Our pain is there for a very profound spiritual reason. It pushes us to reach for the divine. We need a catalyst, primer, a propulsion fuel, if you will, so deep and powerful that it launches us directly into real spiritual awareness. Many of us are so deeply asleep to our all-powerful infinite nature on a day-to-day basis that the only thing strong enough to break through this veil is a burning desire to be free from our suffering. It is our deepest pain that liberates us, and feeling into it daily will pave the path to our highest freedom. Now, when we get a taste, it doesn't have to be a big one, a little taste of enlightened consciousness, everything changes. We see everything as a spiritual experience. We see our mind instantly stops judging this world, ourselves, and our lives as we recognize the source of real peace here. Now, we live in this world. All of us live in this world, yet truly beyond the judgments of this world. This non-judgmental approach liberates our energy to relax into the infinite healing presence of our being. This is how we attain the initial taste of our unbounded freedom. It all begins with a simple connection with our own awareness and consciousness. And when we drop into what is aware, what is present, what is watching the watcher, who is observing this experience of this life, we open the doors to 100% pure awareness, free from the mind. By reopening this door again and again and again, we soon discover the highest, most blissful state of experience a human being can attain. Our circumstances don't need much effort to be changed, but the inner lethargy is very old. The unconsciousness is so primitive its roots are so deep that it needs a total determination on your part, a tremendous determination, a commitment, a deep involvement. You have to risk it all. Unless that happens, it is nearly impossible to change yourself. You will remain the same also, which means you will not be in light consciousness. You will still be run by the ego mind. It truly depends on where we are currently at in our inner journey as to how many days, months, or years it will take before we discover our natural enlightened state. The more often we can practice resting in deep states of stillness, completely dropping all mind chatter, the faster the enlightened state will arrive at our doorstep. And ultimately, it is the commitment to ourselves that sparks the evolution to finding higher consciousness. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out.
Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Let go of your crazy, hurried, busied mind. Only through letting go can you shift your life and instantly experience the most profoundly sacred and expansive feeling in your body. It all starts with letting go of your need to be right, and making real happiness the most important destination of all. This isn't about denying your emotional pain and anxiety. You need to be even more present, gentle, and in touch with all these needy, desperate, and wounded aspects of yourself. Just quit hiding from your power. This means stop trying to change, prove, and fix these wounded, orphaned parts of you. These parts need love, compassion, and a deeper listening. Stop this perpetual criticism and pushing and condemnation. Simply state that your truth today is to enjoy being you, all of you, and invite it in. The most genuine healing love you can find for yourself. You can do it. And crazy, wonderful freedom, at last, will be yours. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, following morning. We'll return here Wednesday, February 7, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call, and a little after 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within inside you or outside of you.